One way of mitigating this renewable energy intermittency and variability problem is trying to have hybrid systems at the same place. So basically what is happening is in the same location you have both your solar, wind that might be mixed with batteries. So during the day you have higher solar resources, but at night whenever there is no generation from the solar PV, you can utilize wind for example. Or even whenever there is a huge cloud passing across during the day and the amount of generation from your PV decreases, your wind can actually supply the deficit from the PV. So in order to do that, we have to understand the availability of the resources and which are going to be the most optimum locations if we want to have hybrid systems across Australia. So availability is the number of hours where you have favorable generation. And we understand that for solar, we have higher favorable generation periods across entire Australia and specifically near the northern part of Australia. But for wind, we have higher amount of generation or the higher availability across the southern regions of Australia. This is because of higher wind speed at these locations, which are more favorable for having wind farms up and running in these parts, and especially in Tasmania. Then the other important thing is to look at the lulls. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, lulls are the consecutive periods of hours where you do not have any power generation or there is no to minimum generation from your system. So we have to analyze both the lulls in solar as well as the lulls in wind in order to understand what is going to be the optimized capacity or what is going to be the best locations for having these hybrid systems across different regions. So for solar, we see that the lulls are higher across the eastern part of Australia in terms of the mean lulls. But for the wind, we see that there are higher lulls in the northern regions like near the Northern Territory and northern part of Queensland, and also across the eastern coastal belt of Australia. And the maximum lulls are again the same for the wind in having higher lulls near the northern part of Australia and across the eastern part of Australia. Again, the eastern part of Australia is the same region where we are expecting higher number of both solar and wind plants in the future.